Hello, today in League of Masters Guide, we're going to introduce XingTian. He is a tanky, disruptive champion in League of Masters. His passive is called Tenacious Life. The armor of XingTian get him more HP regen. It can be interesting to actually equip HP regen on XingTian and armor to help for his survivability in lane and decrease the need to go back to the sanctum. His first skill is called Smack. Smack will hit a small area and stun all the enemy for 0.5 seconds. It's a very strong disruptive skill. Let's use it on a bunch of minions or enemies. Here you go. As you can see, Ronin got stunned and I can easily go and finish it. The second spell of XingTian is called Roar. Roar will slow down nearby enemy by 20% for 4 seconds and reduce the damage taken by XingTian up to 50%. It is very important to use this skill after jumping in the middle of enemies to decrease the damage done by them and forces to slow them. Now let's try it on the jungle minion to show you the difference. First blow 44. Second blow 35 amount. And this is only level 1, so it increased by 10% every level of the spell. It's a very important tanky spell for XingTian. The third spell of XingTian is called Leap. By using Leap, XingTian will jump on the enemy and bomb them into the air. It's a very strong skill and also allows XingTian to actually do AoE stun to all your enemy when they're in the air. It is easy to do a combo after leaping, and but you have to learn the timing. Let's do it on max. So when it's in the air, you can start casting it again, the Q. Important thing to learn with XingTian is that actually his AoE spell is actually pretty small on the first kill. If you look at the circle, it's not very big and it's easy to miss it actually. So you should always be careful, and generally you should actually do it like select manually the target instead of letting the auto aim do the job. Because actually if you let the auto aim work, you will probably never hit your target if they start moving. So it's very important to do it by yourself and not let the auto targeting system do it for you. Important thing about the jump of XingTian, even though it is a jump, it actually does not allow you to jump through walls and tower. So be really careful where you use the spell and in which direction. Let's show it to you here. Let's say I want to jump into the bushes and think it's okay because the distance is fine. As you can see, XingTian is blocked by the wall. So you should always be careful that there is no obstacle on the way you want to actually use your jump. The divine skill of XingTian is called No Mercy. When activated, XingTian will spin his axe for 4 seconds and deal physical damage to everyone. Let's use it on this pack of enemies. As you can see, a lot of damage were dealt to the whole bunch of enemies. But in the same time, you could also see the weakness of the ulti of XingTian. If you get stunned during this divine skill use, your XingTian will actually stop his ult. So you have to be really careful when you use it to make sure that your enemy can't interrupt you. So it's usually like pretty good to actually start your attack with the divine skill by actually jumping in the middle of the enemy, stun them, and then go for your ulti. Another important thing on XingTian, even though it sounds a bit weird, is that actually the power leap and his ult are scaled through his HP. So even if you go full tank on XingTian, his damage will increase on his leap and on his divine skill if you increase his health. Way to go, Hunter. Also, a very nice thing with his ulti, as you can just see, is you actually run faster with it, and it's easy to catch enemy who try to flee to kill all of them. It is generally very hard to actually escape from XingTian because he will stun, slow you, and his ult will make sure that he can chase you as far as you can, even though he doesn't have boots. As I said before, it is important to build HP on XingTian, because actually his leaping skill scale on HP, his ulti divine skill scales on his HP too, and that makes him a very like tanky and dangerous tank, because when he gets tankier he hits even harder. It is though important to have still a bit of like damage, like one upgrade of sword, so your actually your smack skills that use damage allow you to be a bit more scary to all the squishy member of the enemy team. Then it's really up to you. If you think you're too slow to chase people, you can get rid of one of the HP increase and go for movement speed. Or instead of movement speed, you can actually just go for mana if you think you're too short on mana. Let's try not to lose. Kill everybody. I mean, you need to learn how to use him and how to make sure that you always have mana, that you're tanky enough and you're scary enough to your enemies. So in the end, it's pretty up to you on how to build it. For the skill, I usually like to go with the first point in either smack or leap. It will depend. If you want to do early gank, it's better to go leap because you have the range and the AoE stun, and then you should always go for smack and leap generally. I tend to prioritize smack because smack inflict more damage, and you should also always have like one point at least in roar, and at the end of the game you should max roar at the end, because it's not very it's a powerful skill, but the tankiness is really necessary in the end game more than the beginning. And also you should always go for a divine skill as soon as it is up. Okay, in this situation we're gonna try to do a whole stun combo of XingTian on the enemy. Let's go for it. Jump, stun, then you decrease the damage inflicted to you. So I've been stunned and they use all this skill, but it doesn't matter, and now I'm going to use my ulti to kill all of them. Yep. And this is the magic of XingTian. You will be able to stun, tank like crazy thanks to roar, and make sure that nobody can run away with your ulti that will touch everybody. So this is about it for XingTian. I hope you enjoyed the guide about him, and I hope to see you soon for more guides.